Hey, all right. Good to see you. All right. All right, all right, all right. You're vibing. I'm vibing. We vibing. Everybody's vibing with who? With Reeves. Yeah. All right. No, I'm taking these glasses off because I'm seeing the reflection of all the lights in the glasses or the reflection while I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. It's just I tried. It's just bugging me out. Like, this feels better. Yes. So reviving, reviving, vibing with Reeves. What's good? How's you feel? How you feel? What's your life like? Hope is wonderful. My hip hop heads, they when I said what's your life like, you probably said, mine is real. Everything's signed and sealed. Yeah, I know about that Beanie Siegel shit. Yeah, he's supposed to be doing another album. He's gonna be doing another album with the AI though. I heard the AI, because his voice. 'Cause, his, so that way he's gonna get his classic voice back. And the DLC is supposed to be doing an album like that too, with the AI, so bring his classic voice back. Yeah, I want to hear that. I want to hear those. 'Cause both them brothers had flow, and the pain game was insane. Just sit back, like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How they say that? And then it's like, oh, time for me to write. You're like, uh, I got to go after that. So yeah, yeah. Shout out to them too. Shout out to the DLC. Shout out to Beanie Siegel without great music, pain game on a trillion billion. And I want to talk a little bit about writing. But before I do that, guess what? Rant alert, rant alert, rant alert. About to have a rant, y'all. About to be crazy. A rant alert. And people say it can't be checked. You can't check me. Nobody can check me, Mm. including yourself. Some people don't understand that. Not going at anyone in particular or at all, but it's just a mindset that some people have out there that no one can check them, or you have to be doing amazingly well to check them. Like they're at a level where the only one that could check them was like Bill Gates or some shit. If you ain't Bill Gates or you chic, you can't check me. Like, calm down. Check yourself. You could check yourself if you don't want to. If you would check yourself, other people wouldn't have to. Everyone needs to be checked from time to time. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody be perfect. If someone's gonna say that's not proper English, see? I just proved my point. Ain't nobody perfect. There isn't anybody on earth that is perfect. Even your significant other, they might be perfect to you, but everyone has flaws. You have flaws. I have flaws. We all have flaws. That's right. There's gonna be times when you are wrong. You know, it's easy to sit there, point the finger, and say, "Yeah, they're the problem. They're the toxic one." Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's me. Everyone gets the turn to be wrong. Everyone gets a turn to be wrong. There isn't a person on earth that's just can never be wrong. They can never be toxic. They can never have an off day. They can never make a bad decision. Nobody. There isn't anyone on earth that fits that description. Mm, Not a person. Not a person. So what I'm saying is we all need to be held accountable. We all need to be held up to standards. You know, we all need to, you trying to hold other people accountable. You need trying to hold other people accountable for their actions. then you need to understand that other people need to be able to hold you accountable for your actions as well. You can't just be pointing finger, oh, they wrong, they toxic, they this, they that, they that. You're like, yeah, what about you? You ain't talking about me right now. That's your problem. You can't focus. That's your problem. That's another one of your many problems. You can't focus. No, another one of your problems that you don't realize. When you point your finger like this, you know, you're pointing three at yourself. People say you put four, but now the other one's sticking up in the air, so that don't count. So you're pointing three fingers at yourself, not four, because you're not holding your finger like this unless your thumb was broke. But the point is, corny jokes aside, really, that nobody's perfect. You have flaws, I have flaws, we all have flaws. So to sit back and say no one can correct you at all, that's a recipe for disaster. You, that's a recipe for sabotage, self-sabotage, that is. And then when you blow up your own spot and everything is destroyed at your own hand, by your own hand, you messed up your own thing, you crumbled your own empire, and then you go look like no one told me. Like, hey, you say we can't check you. You said if you wanted my opinion, you give it to me. You said you ain't asked me nothing. If you wanted to know, you you'd ask us. No, you tell us. So, you was too good to hear from us. No one was on a level enough where they can say, hey, watch out for that cliff. You about to run off that cliff. No one's good enough to tell you. And the few people that did tell you, you said, man, shut the fuck up. Who you? Who you? What? Trying to check me? Nah. I'm above that. I'm above that. I ain't on that. Fuck out of here. Oh! Now you're falling off the cliff. You fell off the cliff. See? And now you fall and you land. Whoosh. Why ain't no one tell me? People tried to tell you. You wouldn't listen. You know, you wouldn't listen. You know, what can you say? You're responsible for that. It's not, I've seen people do it. Ignore all forewarnings from people and tell people, hey, leave me alone. Who are you to tell me how to live my life? Who you trying to check? Fuck out of here with that. Trying to check me? Check yourself. And then they end up doing something they regret and they turn out bad, working horribly for them. Like they stay in their life for a while. And then they sit back. If I had people in my life to tell me, like, no one told me they supposed to pull me to the side. Nah, people try to pull you to the side, but you don't want to listen. That's on you. Now, everyone's going to tell you time and time again. There's people out there that have the mindset. Look, I'll tell you once. I try to tell you once. If you act like an a-hole, that's it forever. You're gonna have to find out. Some people have to find out. They say F around and find out, fuck around and find out. Well, there's people with egos. Ego too big, and then they find out. Ego too big, won't listen, they find out. But that'd be too many letters for an acronym. It wouldn't be as catchy. Gotta work on that. Someone help me. But you have to listen to people sometimes. I'm not saying every time. That's one of the challenges about life, true indeed. Know when to do something, when to hold back. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And when the camera's done, you gotta know when to walk away. And you better not count your money while you at that table. Because you're gonna get robbed. I'm just saying. They like, oh, you're gonna take my money and you're gonna count it at the table. Gonna be, oh, you like that? You're gonna shit on me like that? You're gonna stun on us like that? Gonna take my money? You're not even gonna let me gamble, try to get it back. You're gonna count the money like, and I'm out at the table. Oh yeah, we're gonna get you. So don't do that. That's a life tip. People won't try to get you. Don't count your money at the table. Walk away, you count it. Yeah. But I'm saying, gotta learn to listen. There's been times I didn't listen to people I regretted, but I never said, you ain't tell me nothing. I'll be like, I should have listened to you on that one, man. You was right about that shit. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I might come to you like, Yeah, I was tripping. My bad. I should listen to you on that one. But I'm not going to sit back and say, you never warned me, knowing you was the main one warning me, and I was just hard headed. Nah, I got this. I got this. I got this. Yeah, I got this. Got this fucked up. Got got this sinking. But yeah, it happens sometimes to the best of us, you know. So I said, no, is there anything wrong with having people that can say, I don't think you should do that? And people, now that'd be people you trust. Not everyone's going to have your best interest at heart. Some people are listening to people who don't have their best interest at heart, and they are sabotagers. They tell you to do the worst thing possible on purpose, but they'll say it with a straight face. They'll make it seem like it's the logical thing to do. Like, yes, yes, do that. Like, you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. And they know they tell you to do something that's gonna be detrimental to your life, to your present and your future, and they do it on purpose because they are snakes. They are foul. So you gotta be careful. That's why I say life is difficult with that. Knowing when is discernment, knowing who's who, and what's what, and when to do what, when to listen, when to ignore someone, when to follow advice, when not to follow. Maybe you have to follow some of the advice and maybe part of the advice to leave alone. Sometimes you gotta like, edit and tailor the advice to fit you. Sometimes you just gotta take it straight up, take the advice the way it is. You know, sometimes you gotta know when to give advice, and sometimes you have to know fall back from giving advice. It might be right to you, might be wrong to them, or it might be right, but they might not want to listen. Some people won't listen. You tried. You gave advice a couple times. They don't want to listen. Hey, you tried. You cared enough to try and speak out. So that's my rant. People think they can't be checked and shouldn't be checked. I mean, just I look at it as gentle correcting sometimes. Sometimes checking, sometimes it's more like a gentle correction or adjustment, from people who love you, want to see you do better, hopefully. And that's the end of this rant. Yeah. Yeah. And now back to what I really wanted to talk about. Writing. Writing. People with that pen game. People who could deliver a well-written verse, hook, chorus, a story. Hey, when you go to stories, there's authors too, you know. People who can write a good book. That's a challenge. I tried to write a book myself. Yeah, I tried a couple times. Out front, let me tell you this. I already had a great respect for authors, but my respect for authorship had only increased when my attempts to write were writing were met with the reality of writing and not using a ghostwriter. And this is before people could just throw the shit in the AI and have AI write it, just say, no, write this up for me, AI. No, this is back when you had to write, or I a person to ghostwrite for you. I didn't have the inclination to do that. I'm like, nah, I'm not. It's not in my heart to have someone write something and then put my name on it. I don't care if they say, yo, I'll do it for free. Nah, I'm good. If I'm gonna be author, I want to be author. I want to write these words that's going on the page. And I said a lot goes into it because you have to be consumed by it. And I was doing a lot, you're producing, you writing songs, all that. I had to put that to the side. Like you wake up like, okay, what's going on in there in these characters? What's you're building a world. So what's going on in their world every day? What's going on in their world? And why? What's going on in their world and how are they reacting to what's going on in their world? Why are they reacting like this? to what's going on in their world. And you gotta got the how, whys, the when, where's, the hows. You gotta provide the reason for the season in this world that your characters inhabit. You have to. And I said, yeah. And then I said, bet. And then you have to get that right in it every day, every day. And then there's days where the ideas just escape, bro. The ideas just escape you. Like, you just hear the Jeopardy music in the background. Do, 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 do. And it's be the extended version. Like, how long is this Jeopardy music? The Jeopardy music forever. Dun, dun. Then you look around and don't hear nothing. Then start all over again. You're like, damn it. It's wild. Then you come up there, you get something, you idea right. You write what you got, and you don't like it. Crumble that paper up, write again. Don't like this, crumble it up, write again. And like this. Then you come up with pages, and it's flowing. Then a week later, you go back over that road, and you're like, wow, I'm only keeping like 2 pages out of this shit. Wow. Then you rip the other ones, and then then you finally get the story down, and you're like, yeah. Then you're like, oh, I had to do more. Cause see, I wanted to do a couple of different stories. These are like when I was in my 20s. At one point, I wanted to do like a romance novel. Yeah. What? Yeah. And I also wanted to do a book of short stories coming from a black man's perspective. No, black boys, a black male perspective, you know. Think why not? You know, have it in the books, you know, because there was a lot of books I was reading at that time that inspired my thoughts, you know, reading romances and stuff by James Joyce, you know, the short stories I've seen he was doing it, the short stories, but from the Irish male perspective in the society at that time. So I say, yeah, it's cool. And then you had um all the other you had your other authors that really inspired me. Some of the books were like Native Son, Deep Book, and Black Boy, American Hunger by Richard Wright. Please check those books out. Donald Goines, Never Die Alone, Dope Fiend. Check those books out. Black Girl Lost, Sister Soldier, The Coldest Winter Ever. Those are the kind of books that was really hit. Some of the books that was hit me. Like I said, I also read like James Joyce with the Dubliners. That was an inspiring piece too. So I mean, it's different. There's different things to write. There's different things that can affect you as a writer and as someone who's a fan of writing, good writing. You know, I realize you have to have voice in this dedication when you're trying to be the one that's writing. You have to get that access. You have to have access to your creativity and have your voice, and then say, okay, how do I use my voice? What do I talk about? And how do I talk about it? The technique matter, and reading a lot helps. Reading a lot really helps. Like I said, if you want to sing, you know, singing a lot helps, and studying other singers helps. I'm gonna say, yeah, I want to be a singer, but I'm not gonna practice, and I'm not gonna listen to other people sing either. Yeah, then when you open your mouth, it's gonna sound horrible. You have nothing to base your foundation on, and you're not even practicing. You're not even warming up. It's like saying, hey, I want to be a basketball player. I'm not even going to the gym. I'm gonna just show up when it's time to play, and I'm gonna do LeBron numbers. You won't. you won't, because LeBron was in that gym obsessively. That's how we got like that. You didn't just get like that because, oh, I'm gonna just pass by when it's time, and then I'm gonna just shine automatically because that's when the talent and the skills pop up. No, it pop up through sacrificing your time to sit there and dedicate your energy to your craft. So I was like, dang, I'm putting this time in, I'm putting this time in. I'm like, dang, this is more labor intensive and time intensive than I realized. You think, oh, people sit back in front of a typewriter, the paper, and they just sit back, maybe have a glass of bourbon, then like, I got it. And then you're just like, wow, ideas, 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 ideas. And 2 weeks later, hey, I got it. No, you might be sitting around 2, 3 weeks just damn, trying, just writing and like, nah, not liking it. So anyway, you come up with some dope stuff. You come up with shit. You try your best to. And I was like, damn, this is crazy. I respect it. Now I had a few of them stories written out for the book of short stories, and I can't find it. I lost a lot of those stories moving. I had it written by hand, and I had backup on computer disk. I can't find none of them moving around, so that's bad. So I can't even look back like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nope. And for the no, so I had like a book of short stories. I wrote some of the stories. I had those, but the novels, I didn't even finish the novel. I had like chapters in. I can't remember. I think what I had like 6, 7 chapters in. Then I said start getting more of the music and life and everything's coming in. But honestly, I said, yeah, let me go back, and I didn't like the premise anymore. I was like, I wasn't feeling it anymore. Maybe had I continued, I would have put it out there. Then I would have had a whole book I didn't feel anymore. Instead of just like 7 chapters. I was like, yeah. But at least I would have had something completed. But yeah. So shout out to all the authors out there. You know, shout out to all the authors out there. Everyone writing. Anyone who thought about writing, wanted to write. And also, we're gonna bring it back right now to the music. Yeah. Songwriters. Big up to the songwriters. It's not as easy as people think, you know. It could be, yeah, it's not as time consuming as being an author, but maybe because I'm more comfortable with writing. But even if you write a song, the song doesn't have to be as long as a book. A book, you got chapters and everything. And for a song, especially nowadays, a song could be 2 minutes to 12 seconds. You can, have one long verse and have a chorus. Had the chorus in the beginning, had the one long verse, had the chorus again, let the beat rock a little bit. Next thing you know, the song's over. And you might have people helping you write the song, helping you write the lyrics. And then if you're a composer, you might make the music with someone else. So you can have more help. So that's one thing to consider, keep that in mind. Yeah, so yeah. But other than that, it'll still be kind of difficult when you have that writer's block. I say when you have writer's block, you might need to do something that you normally wouldn't do, have some new experiences, go some place you wouldn't go, just take some time and chill, get something, get a new vibe, get some new energy around you, have some new experiences, then go back and write and it'll be better, you know, and take piece by piece, you know, maybe that's another way you could do it. All right. write a couple verses, maybe write a verse here, then the next day write something else. Two is more and more, you're more comfortable with it, you know. Because I know it was like that with beats too. I had to start listening to different things, different songs, different sounds. Because I noticed when I hit that wall, I'm like, wait a minute. This is like the other beat I did. And that beat's like the other beat I did. I'm like, oh man, I'm, I'm making the same track but with different sounds. It's the same beat. So I said, I have to, I have to get new experiences, listen to new things, new energy, keep it in. Because you get used to doing the same old. And then you put out stuff that's going to be the same. And people might get used to it in a bad way. Like, again, they get bored of, they get, they get tired of hearing the same thing. There's no new spices in it, just same old dish. It's like, hey, oatmeal every day. Same way. Not going to add nothing new to it. No new twists. We're not even going to have grits tomorrow. It's oatmeal, oatmeal, oatmeal. You get sick of that. Then people don't want to come rock with you. I don't want to come with you for breakfast because you tired of oatmeal. And you don't even want to add cinnamon to it. You don't want to add nothing. Just straight up. No, so I don't want people to think of my writing as just oatmeal. No, just oatmeal. Nothing else. Like I'm not adding anything else. I'm not trying to grow with my writing. I'm not trying to experiment. Nothing. Just this. That's it. And writers are important because they challenge the systems that we had put in place for us. Not all writers, but there are writers who challenge the system that's put in place for us. They do challenge double standards. Um they do challenge insanity that masquerades as normalcy. They challenge the things that some people can't challenge because they're too busy trying to survive. They call out things that other people might not see because, maybe they wolves pulled over their eyes and maybe they're writing it like, oh, I see it, so they can write it. Right? Plant seeds and hope the seeds grow. It's like plant seeds in the garden and hope they grow. You water them, but might not be right then and there. So people have to keep that in mind. Like you tell somebody some life-changing information, they might not just be, oh wow, and totally change to another person right then and there. No, it took them time to be who they are right then and there. So it might take time for them to grow on that jewel you dropped on them. That's for the writers that don't know. You're like, oh, I wrote this, they didn't catch it. Yeah, maybe it takes time for them to grow into it. Like, oh, I get it now. Maybe it'll grow with time. Because not everyone hears some shocking information. Not everyone hears the truth and just totally change. Split second. They didn't even, no, some people grew to be who they are. And if they want to be different, you usually have to grow to be different. So growth is involved, and growth is very rarely instant. Growth is very rarely instantaneous. So you're expecting instant growth. You need to check yourself. And see, I brought it back. I brought it back. Check yourself and your expectations, because damn sure unrealistic. Shit. I know you can tell me something that doesn't mean I'm gonna process this immediately and be a completely different person just then because you told me. Like, that's not how life works. Sometimes you don't have a lot of time, but like I said, it's not always instant. So you growth. Gotta hope for the best. And also another reason writing is important because you get to get it out. It's cathartic. Even if you don't let people know. That's why there's people out there who have uh diaries, journals. That's right. Diaries and journals. Just get it out your system. Write it down. Write your poetry. Write your stories. Write your raps. Write your R&B songs, your pop songs, your country songs, your heavy metal, your gospel, you know. And if it's dope enough, put it out to the people. But it's still good to get it out. Sometimes we have so much stuff in us and we just need to flush it out. And you might learn something about yourself looking at what you just wrote. Like, wow, I didn't even realize I felt that way. I didn't realize I do that. Like, oh, this is not good. Oh, this is great. You might surprise even yourself. So that's one thing you gotta understand. Writing is important. It, writing is very important. You could talk about politics, spirituality, religion, culture, your culture, your rich culture, our rich culture. Um, you could write about people trying to take you down, take the people down. You could write about rising up and beating the odds and your people, overcoming oppressors. You could just write about having a good day. You could write about being stressed out, trying not to flip the fuck out. Get it out. Get it out. So those are some real important reasons to write. And it's a good mental exercise too. It's a great mental exercise. Think of the metaphors, the similes, all the different things you have going on. The alliteration, all the different literary techniques with writing and the things you have to keep in track of, like the who, what, when, why, hows, and storytelling, all those things matter a lot. It's challenging and it help you to help other people. And it might just be fun. You might just write down something that's fun. And there's people that write for children too, write stories for children, write songs for children. They need stuff too, I'm not one of those people. I don't write for kids. I admit it. I don't. Other people do. So salute to them. Tip the hat. We need those songs. You know, like in the early Sesame Street days, you had people writing. Then you had the School Rock days. You had the song right about a bill and yuck mouth. You refuse to brush, and all these songs that was meant to entertain kids and teach them lessons. That's another thing too. You can teach lessons. You can drop gems on people and keep it entertaining. That's a challenge because you might just put it in a way where it's not entertaining and people will brush the song off like, oh, I don't want to be lectured. Like you need to know this, and you sit there. This will change your life. This will change your life. Do this if you want to benefit and live life effectively and be great. Like this shit doesn't even have soul to it. Don't have swag. I don't hear this funny ass shit. It's like the musical equivalent of watching paint dry. Turn to something else. And then when they turn to the song, that's just twerking in the street. She be twerking in the street. You're gonna sit down and talk down on those people. Oh, they just it's in the twerking in the street. Well, your song was not entertaining. It was boring. And it wasn't good. You had good intent. But the song was booty juice. It was ass milk. It was terrible. Sorry, that was a mean way to put it, but yes, yeah, it has to be a good song. Writing is important. So shout out to all the writers. Shout out to the poets, the novelists, uh, the songwriters, the composers, and the composers definitely because they bring about the musical, emotional backdrop that inspires the writers to do it. They tell stories through instruments and sound. Shout out to my fellow composers, my producers, my fellow songwriters, fellow poets, storytellers, novelists. I mean, storytelling goes back. I mean, you can look back in the old griot, the old days in Africa, in West Africa with the griots, telling the story, keeping the culture alive, educating people, entertaining people. It's very important. And have a good one. And subscribe to Vibe with Reeves. Follow me, leave a comment. Don't be shy, leave a comment. Share, like, comment, subscribe, please. Every Friday, new episode. Vibe with me. And thank you for your support. And check me out on ReevesENT.com. Dope music. Good music. Check the merch. Such as the shirt and the hoodie. Yeah, support. And your support is appreciated. And your light is appreciated. Stay up. You dig me? One.